Guess what? Steven went on a world tour of content creators this week, and boy, did we get some information. I'm not going to give you all the information because I don't want to step on other people's toes and steal their content. That's not nice. I don't know if there's such a thing as YouTube etiquette, but that would probably break it. So I'm going to tiptoe around YouTube etiquette and give you a review of Steven's tour. I'm going to give you some new info about the science nodes that we learned from the tour. I'll give you some more information about fishing, and at the end of the video, I'll give you some exclusive information about cosmetics that I uncovered when I was talking to Margaret in Discord. So let's get started. The first stop on Steven's world tour was the Dungeon Crawler Network. The interview took place on Twitch, but since the interview, they have uploaded it to YouTube, and here's their YouTube page. Now, some people on Discord complained because they couldn't find the interview, since it doesn't say anything about Steven in the description. So here it is. It's episode 90. The guys did a really good job of interviewing Steven, and only asked 3 repeat questions. That is, questions that I already heard people ask before. There were 3 bombshells in the interview that made me stop and say, "Wait, what? Whoa." And from their interview, we learned a little bit more about the library. Apparently, you have to go there and upload your adventures for them to be counted into the history of the server. So the guys didn't really notice that this was a bombshell, and they didn't ask Steven about it. The one guy was thinking about killing elves in his imagination, and Kojak was in the bathroom or something, and nobody asked Steven about it. So apparently you have to go to the library to upload your adventures, and that's how they get written into the history of the server. I don't know if I like that. If it's a blog, what's to keep me from just making stuff up? And if I have to edit my own game videos and upload them, I already do that on YouTube, so I don't really feel like doing it. If it is something that just sucks up my stats and combs through them, and I don't have to do anything except walk through the metal detector at the door or something, that's fine with me. But this opens up a big can of worms, and I wish the guys would have asked more questions about it. Other than that, really good interview. Okay, did you see what I did there? I gave you a review of the interview and a little bit of information from the show without spoiling it for you. So you still have to go there and watch the show. I hope I didn't offend anybody. The next interview went to Jalon. Here's his YouTube page, and the episode you want to click on is the one with Steven's face on it. Jalon started his interview by asking a lot of business questions. I thought this was a very original angle to take to the interview. But after he ran out of business questions, he started asking regular questions. Now, Jalon was very meticulous. He crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. And now we know everything. This was a very good interview, chock-a-block full of information. Jalon didn't have any blockbusters, but he did ask really good questions, including one about fishing. There will be sports fishing and regular fishing, said Steven, but then he added some new info. Deep sea fishing in the ocean will allow us to access chemical reagents that were referenced in the Scientific Note article. For instance, squid ink for camouflage, jellyfish toxins for paralysis potions, different things like that. Steven didn't say that, but it's logical to assume that those are the kinds of things we'll be getting from the fish, which I think is really cool. Overall, Jalon's video was very good. The next stop on Steven's tour was Simmerg. He held his interview on DLive, which is kind of like Twitch, except it's powered by blockchain technology. Here's his page on YouTube. The easiest way to find Simmerg on YouTube is to search for Ashes Pathfinders, since there's many other Simmergs online. The episode you want to click on is episode 47. Simmerg did a really good episode, and there were only 2 or 3 repeat questions. From Simmerg, we learned more about the Essence Stones. Apparently, upgrading your weapon also adds more slots for the stones to fit into. Runic stones are temporary, while essence stones are more permanent. Steven tried to explain it, but I didn't understand. Runic stones can be switched in and out easily, but essence stones require a bit of work. Like maybe you have to spray them with some kind of lubricant or acid or something. You have to jump through hoops to remove them. It was also nice to see Simmerg and Daedalus sharing screen time. They both got to ask Steven questions. Good teamwork, guys. Next up was Chibi Brie, and you can find her at the Golden Feather. Here's her YouTube page. When you get to Chibi's YouTube page, you want to click on episode 10. I don't have a screen capture of it because the Twitchcast just ended. Chibi started her interview by asking Steven a bunch of personal questions about his life, which I thought was really interesting because during one of his answers, he said the religions on Vera are kind of based off the religions in Deep Space Nine, the Star Trek series. I hated that show. I can't remember even one single episode of that show. I remember Odo was some kind of a changeling god, and Nala or Bala or Lala, the girl with the nose ridges, she also had some kind of religion. I thought DS9 was super boring. I can't even remember one single episode of it. But if you're a Star Trek fan, look there for some religious inspiration. Chibi also had some really good questions about royal mounts, dragon eggs, and dragons. So make sure to check out her show for that info. Overall, it was a pretty good interview. Now, I also scored an exclusive of my own. When I was in Discord, I asked Margaret about the Nikua clothing skin. Is the weapon a separate skin that comes as a bonus with the clothing? Or is it just there for visual appeal? Margaret didn't answer my question, but she did answer somebody else, and she gave away some good information in her answer. Margaret said that in the future, she's going to add more information to the cosmetic items. She's going to rewrite them so that they include information on which slots the different items use. Now this ties into a question that was asked by Simmerg, I think. Simmerg asked if you could mix and match the items in the cosmetic store. Steven replied that some of the items are one piece, but some of the items are several pieces and you can mix and match them. So now that Margaret is going to add slot information to the cosmetic store, we'll know exactly what we can and can't swap. If you like this video, why not subscribe? Maybe someday I'll be big enough to score an interview with Steven and I'll ask him all the stuff about the stuff. If you're a content creator who hated this video, leave a comment below. All the interviews I've mentioned in this episode, scroll down, click on read more, and you'll find links to everyone in the description. Thanks for watching!